Kate B channel. I'm Kate B. I live in sunny Florida, Central Florida, United States of America. I'm originally from Eastern Europe, so I speak Russian. My first language is Russian, but my channel is in English and sometimes in Russian. So welcome to Kate B channel. Today is Saturday afternoon, evening. It's almost 5:30 here in sunny Florida. I hope you join me for the live stream because I have a very interesting topic. I am in very good mood today. However, I just dropped off my little one, and by little one I mean my 11 years old. She's almost 12. My little daughter Stella, one of my two daughters. I dropped her off for her first ever sleepover, pool birthday party and sleepover at her classmate's house. And when I came home, I couldn't find peace. I cannot settle. I don't know why I'm so anxious and I'm so nervous. I waited until she's almost 12. Because I feel like towards the little one, I'm so much more overprotective than over my firstborn. I have another daughter, Zoe. She just turned 16 and she has just started to drive in May all by herself. She got her driver's license. And I wanted to discuss during my live stream the topic, how you feel about your kids first. And if you're a mom, it doesn't matter what age is your kid, and some first going to be exciting, some first were going to be nerve-wracking. I don't know. I just needed to talk to someone, so I'm coming here on my live stream to talk to my viewers, and hopefully I have some viewers who give me like more thoughts and feelings about how you feel about kids first. And I think she was perfectly fine. Hello. Hi, Allah. Welcome to my live stream. Multu tranquilo. I said hi. Welcome. I'm Kate. Welcome to my live stream. So how do you feel? Do you have any separation anxiety? I know my kid is perfectly fine. She's very social. She loves her friend. I got to meet the family of her classmate a couple of times. They seem like wonderful people. They just moved in here in our little town. My daughter is like 5 minutes away, literally from my house. Вы учительница английского языка? Аллочка, спасибо. Нет, я просто иммигрант из Молдовы. Я говорю по-русски, но английский я выучила уже, будучи, как сказать, пользуясь языком здесь. Я уже здесь, в США, 19 лет. Спасибо, что зашли. Said hi. So I'm very, I don't know how to explain it. I talked to another vlogger today and she said, if you like live streams, just come out anytime you have feelings or emotions, just to be true about talking about like everyday situations, life situations. And I kind of feel like that's the situation I wanted to share with my viewers because I let my child go today. I let my child go out of the house for the whole night by herself, And I know the family. I know they're wonderful people. I know this is very close to the house. I know she's old enough to attend parties like kids' parties and sleepovers. But my heart is not at peace. I don't know what it is. I think I am having separation anxiety with my younger daughter. And I remember with my older daughter, I made arrangements for her to sleep somewhere else because we were traveling and we didn't have grandpa. Nowadays we have grandpa who lives with us, my father, and he helps us with the kids and he helps us with the household duties and he helps us with a lot of logistics. My dad was a lifesaver when I had my second kid because I had to work and we don't have a lot of maternity leave. And when I had my second child, we had to plan it very well that we brought my dad to be here, legal immigrant, and come and live with us and help me to babysit my daughter. So now my daughter is almost 12 and she went for the first time to be away for the whole night. And actually this weekend she has both nights where she's gonna sleep in somebody's house, because she has two best friends who had their birthdays. And another fun fact, that she hangs out with the girls who are about the same age as her, so they have their birthdays later in the year, because she is the youngest in her class. My daughter was born on August 21st, and the cutoff date for kids to attend school at 5 years old is September 1st. So all the kids who are born before the September 1st, they are allowed to enter like to school at 5 years old. So Stella, when she entered her kindergarten the first time she went to public school at 5 years, she wasn't even 5. She was the youngest in her school. She only turned 5 when she started kindergarten. So with the second child, it's particularly difficult for me to let go. You know, with the first child, I thought Zoe, she's 16 now. When Zoe was 4, her sister Stella was born. And with Zoe, I kind of, you know, how I was the youngest kid in the family. So I was the spoiled one, and my mom, you know, always expected more from my older sister. And, you know, sometimes my sister got a little bit in more trouble, and I was getting away with more. And being a younger child in the family myself, I didn't know I'm gonna be the same towards my little one, because my little one, it feels like I'm babying her a little more, since my dad was here to help me when she was born. It feels like the younger one got a little more attention than the older one. And my older one was not high maintenance, you know, like some kids can be needing more attention, and I feel like my older one never wanted that much of attention. And my younger one, she's just like me, because her birthday is in August, and I think she has like a lot of similar character traits that I do. And I can see, sometimes I can see myself in her, but it's like it's even more exaggerated, you know. Like my mom was busy, I was the younger, she gave me enough attention. But when it comes to Stella, like she is bathing in attention. She loves attention from grandpa, from dad, from me, from her older sister, from her friends. And she's very social, and sometimes she's like, she can be too talkative, too social. I like it in her because she's not reserved. She's very outgoing. She's smart. She knows a lot. She has a lot to share. Just like me. Very talkative, very sweet, very knowledgeable. She always has a point. But sometimes, you know, when I let her go to another house and spend the night there, I'm like, wow. All of a sudden, it's a feeling like she's growing. I told her maybe she can have her sleepover at 10, but we pushed it to 11, then we pushed it to almost 12. And I still have like regrets, because, you know, like my little baby is growing. She's just 12, you know, 12. She's 12. So let me show you something. We bought 2 gifts for her friends. Like she wanted, because she goes to 2 places. So this is a basket. Like we just bought in, like she had a vision, she had something in mind. So it's a care basket for her friend's birthday. So tomorrow, like today, one of those similar, the same basket she made for her other friend. But look how neat and pretty she made it. Like how creative she is. She looked it up, like she got a little bow. We bought these containers. We bought like pretty things that 12 years old like now, like the care products, a little like hairbrush, a little loofah, this nice gel, like the face masks, and even a little like gummy bears, like candy, and what else? She bought this lip products for, like SpongeBob, with a little fun, with a little twist. So like she knows what she's doing, you know. She knows, now she's so independent. I don't need to tell her to ask, you know, like parents what we can bring for a 12 years old birthday. Stella is just so creative. She kind of knows that whatever she would like to get, she would give to her friends, because she thinks they're gonna be happy. And I always tell her that In my culture, we were very poor back in the day. We are from Eastern Europe, Republic of Moldova, and when our friends came to our birthdays, we get books. Most likely, we get books and a little like birthday card or just a card. But most of the time, we got books. We didn't get any other gifts because, you know, things, stuff like care products or whatever, toys, they were not easily available back in the day. So when I was 12, I can't even remember. I think when I was 12, I was spending time in Russia at relatives' house, and it was in the village. So the girls just brought me something. Like one of the girls brought me a piece of fabric to make a piece of clothes, but I couldn't sew. So that piece of fabric was just sitting there in my house like useless. But people were poor, they didn't have gifts to buy to you. And I teach my kids it's not about the gifts. The presents is a gift. Like if you go and spend time with your friend on their birthday, if you go to the party, if you can make it to the party, if you can have time and be with your friends celebrating their birthday, it's already a gift, you know. Like some people don't have privilege to go to a party, some people don't have a privilege you know, to be healthy enough to just be present in somebody's life. So I keep teaching my kids, everybody can afford a lot of, you know, like nice little gifts here and there from parents, from relatives, from friends, but the most important thing you can give to your loved ones is a gift of presence, being with them, spending time with them, having fun with them, celebrating, being in the moment, sharing time, sharing the special bonds, sharing friendship, sharing feelings and emotions. I think this is the best gift we can give to each other. So today, why this monologue? Why this live stream? Because, you know, I all of a sudden I starting to realize I'm gonna let it go, because when my 16 years old started to drive, it's a totally different world for me. Like I don't see her at home as often. She's very busy with volunteering, with job. Алло, алло, сейчас слышно? Маска, спасибо большое, что вы мне сказали. Видимо, села батарейка у микрофона, и никто мне не сказал. 6 зрителей, и все постеснялись мне сказать. Не знаю, с какого момента я должна повторить, но уже не буду повторяться. Спасибо большое, что мне сказали. Thank you. 007AZ, thank you for telling me there is no... Now it is, yeah. Now it is. There was no sound. It's okay. It's okay. I guess I have to go back and cut this piece after I'm done with live stream. But things happen. Thank you for letting me know, Маска. Спасибо большое, что вы мне сказали. Now it is. So you can hear me now. I don't need to scream, but you know, without the microphone, it's probably a little different. And maybe I can sit a little closer to my phone so you can hear me well. Okay, thank you. So what I'm trying to say that Stella is very self-sufficient too. She was excited about this party. She planned it very well. We had plenty of time to get ready. But check this out. Today I thought she said, I'm gonna pack. Pack. And usually when she packs, she asks me like how many days we're going, and like if we're going to a hotel, like, you know, we try to check together what's the weather, what's to pack, blah blah blah. But this time she did it all by herself. And check this out. Before she left, she told me, I asked ChatGPT about sleepover, and I told ChatGPT that this is my first time, what are the tips and what I need to pack. And ChatGPT gave her like the best instructions ever about a change of clothes, about extra socks, about a little, you know, like pillow, comfortable stuff to take with her. And she was ready. Oh my gosh, when I saw that backpack, when I saw the backpack, I'm like, wow, well, you're going for the night to your friend's house. Why did you pack so much? And she said, Mom, it's just a comfy blanket. She said, don't worry about bringing, how you call it, like sleeping bag or something, because they have extra like nice reclining chairs. The girls can use reclining chairs. So she only packed like a comfy blanket. She brought her comfy pillow, the one she likes, and she was all set. And I was like, oh my gosh, I still, you know, like she's almost 12. She was so excited. She was thinking about the sleepover for 6 months. The last minute she talked to Chat GPT to help her pack. She packed her toiletries. She made sure, because it's a pool party, of course she's gonna probably take a shower there, so she packed everything she needs. And she's, you know, I don't remember on, yeah, I was pretty independent. I was pretty self-sufficient, because I remember traveling by train from one town to another. Like I was traveling by night train that goes for about like 8 hours by myself. My parents put me on the train and my sister picked me up I was traveling from Moldova to Ukraine. I was traveling from my town all by myself, and it was around 10. But that was an overnight train, you know, and I don't know how my mom didn't lose her mind letting me go, because back in the day when I was 10 in 1986, we didn't even have like cell phones. We didn't have any connection. So until my sister met me off the train at the train station and we got safely home, my sister could call my mom and tell she's here, she arrived. But with my kid, I will never let her go on the train by herself. I'm just, I don't know. So Stella talked to ChatGPT to go and pack, and she packed everything so neatly. She thought about every little thing, and she was so excited. So I took a little interview. Maybe later I put it in one of my videos, that I took a little interview how she felt, and she was very excited. So I dropped her off and I came here, and I'm sitting at home like, wow, my kid was perfectly fine. She was excited. She's spending good time with her friends. They have huge pool. They're gonna eat, you know, their favorite things, like whatever girls do, giggle and watch a movie and have popcorn. And it's fun. It's a fun birthday party. But I have this, you know, I have something that I can't settle. I'm like, how my kid is growing so fast, how she's 12, how she's becoming so independent little lady, like knowing everything, checking, like instructing with ChatGPT instead of her mom, telling her what to do and what to pack for the what to do and what to pack for the sleepover, being so excited. And I'm like, yeah, at some point you let them go, and it happens a lot earlier. Don't be fooled. It doesn't happen when they go to college. It happens nowadays. Yeah, thank you, Muska. Elizabeth Harbers, welcome to my live stream. Hello, where are you from? Etabo. I'm from Florida, United States of America, Central Florida, Orlando area. I live in the United States, but originally I'm from Eastern Europe. My first language is Russian, so I am Eastern European, whatever you want to call me, Russian, Eastern European, I'm okay with that. Etabo, where are you from? Welcome to my live stream. So I'm just expressing my thoughts about your kids growing and how you feel as a parent. So don't be fooled. You're not becoming empty nester right when they go to college. It happens earlier. The disattachment, the breaking of umbilical cord becomes this day like way earlier than than when they go to college. I'm from Kenya and I want to visit you there one day. All right, Etabo. Yes, you can visit one day. I used to work with a lady from Kenya. She was very, very pretty. She was very hard-working lady. So her name was Farah. So I loved Farah a lot. And now she lives not far. She also lives in Florida. I still keep in touch with her. Kenya is a beautiful country. Go to safari a lot. You see the lions in real nature. Welcome to the live streams. Thank you for watching. So what I'm trying to say, that with the second child, with the baby in the family, it's a little more difficult to admit that they're growing, they're going to be independent. And with the little one, you don't want to let it go that fast. You don't want them to be independent too fast, because you kind of hang on to your kid being a kid, you know, depending on you. And I think I'm anxious and controlling mom most of the times. But with my 16-year-old, I started to realize that the sooner you let them go, the sooner they get more, you know, more self-sufficient. Like my older daughter, she didn't wait for me to take her hand and bring her to a volunteering place. Like, I'm gonna brag, like, she went there. She knew that this place accepts high schoolers to volunteer, and she went there to the closest, she went to the closest nursing home, and she just asked, can I volunteer a couple of hours every day or a couple of days during the week? And instead of like talking to somebody or like arranging a meeting or something, they just put her on the spot. They just liked her. They just said, yeah, we would use some help, please, you know, welcome. She's 16, and she did it without me holding her hand and talking to people. She was very capable to speak for herself, to fend for herself. And I think at some point, when they're smart enough to do that, you will realize it's good. They're not gonna sit there and waiting for anybody to take their hand and go with them. They're gonna be independent. They're gonna solve whatever they need to solve, and find, you know, good way to find a good way to solve their own, you know, needs. And whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna try to find the ways to do what they plan. And I was so proud of her. She did that, and she said, yeah, it was easy. And now she goes there a few days per week or a couple of hours per day, whatever. And I'm like, I only see in my phone, because we share the phone schedule, so we know where everybody is. And I only see like the reminders, and she's very organized. And I'm like, wow, she's very organized for being 16. I'm very proud of her. She's very independent, and like, having a driver's license, she knows what she's supposed to do over the summer. And I don't have, how do you say, I don't have this anxieties where she is, because we communicate, we have the shared schedule. But Stella is different. I still treat Stella as my little baby, like how my baby can turn 12 in 1 month, like less than 1 month she's turning 12, and I'm like in denial. So with the babies, it's way more difficult to let go. And with the baby, I have a lot more thoughts, like how she's gonna be. Like, she's capable. Now I know she's capable, and she can communicate, she can express herself. She's just like me. If she doesn't like something, she'll tell you in your face. She's pretty straightforward. She's not she's an extrovert. She's not like keeping things to herself and being just upset with something, not telling anybody. And I told her a little story, and she said, Mom, that story was so scary. Like, and this story happened in real life, and I didn't want to cause any anxiety, but I just wanted to use the story as a lesson that can happen, and it's very dangerous. So the story is like, check this out. One of the moms, like, we are friendly with the moms in the gym. It's not like you see on the show, Dance Moms, where they're like arguing and they're mean and they're competitive. No, nothing like that. We have a very good relationship with all the moms on the team. Sweet moms. We've been there for years. We've been through like nerves of the competition. We've been through scheduling. We've been through fundraising together. Very nice group of moms. So one of the moms, she told us a story about the sleepover, and it pretty much haunted me to this day. And when I mentioned it to Stella, like, I told her this story, like, about, I don't know, whenever I learned it. But since Stella was talking about sleepover, and she said, Mom, you never let me go to the sleepover, blah, blah, blah. I'm almost 12. And all my friends started to do sleepovers like at 5, at 7. And I said, I don't care. I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't grow up in the culture when we slept over in friends' house. We mostly slept over in our relatives' house, and we were visiting like aunts or cousins. But we didn't have that culture to stay in somebody's house for like a party or something. So I wasn't okay with that. So this lady, the mom from the gym, she tells me she was hosting a sleepover and she has doorbell cameras and she has a dog. And the girls had a slumber party and they had a party in the big living room, like sleeping in their sleeping bags on the floor. And all of a sudden at night, she wakes up because the dog is barking heavily. And she got so scared, so she went down to see what's going on, because the girls were sleeping downstairs and she was sleeping upstairs in her room. And that's real life, people. That happens in our you know, in our little community. So I can share the story. So she goes there and the dog is barking, and she's barking at the door, that the door was open. So she looks at the camera and she sees one of the girls left the house, and it's like 2 a.m. at night. It's so freaking scary. The girl just fled. The girl just ran. Even I'm talking about, and the girl about 8. So she started to call her dad, and she's coming from the house to her dad's house, and it's not close. It's not close. She had to run through the big like highway. Of course, it's middle of the night. It's after 2 a.m. and it's like no cars. But again, it was a pretty far distance. Here people don't live like, okay, like if I tell you my kid is 6 minutes away from me driving, but just imagining her leaving the house and running here on the big road where sometimes there are no walkways. I mean, my stomach turns. So this lady, she says she sees it on the camera, so she starts to call her dad, and like her dad tells her, oh, she just ran back home because she had a bad dream. So she didn't wake anybody else, she didn't call anybody, she just randomly left the house without anybody knowing, and that freaked that lady out, because she would be responsible if something happens to the kid. Nothing happened, thanks God. She just ran, and she ran straight to the house. But when they talked to her, she said, I just had a bad dream and I felt like going back home. So the kids are so, like, you tell to your kids, like, if you're doing sleepover, please, something happens, you wake up parents, something you don't like there, call your parents. I'm 5 minutes away, day or night, I'm gonna jump in the car and go take you home. You don't run away, you don't like leave the house. So that lady freaked me out with that story, and I told it to Stella, and she said, Mom, I will never do that. What are you talking about? Don't worry about that. And I'm like, okay, thanks God, my kid, like, at least I communicated my fears, at least I communicated, and it can happen to anybody, the best host. And that's why I'm saying I'm so afraid to host other kids in my house, because I don't want any other kids, how they can behave and what kind of personalities they have. And I'm not a teacher, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a profession of care. I used to be a nanny. I know some psychology of the kids. I used to babysit mostly like tiny little babies up until 5, up until school age. Back in the day, we got basic training when I was an au pair, when I was a nanny in family in Kansas City. In my host family, we did have some training about diseases, about how to handle kids, about a little bit of psychology, but not that extensive that now I'm just afraid of little girls, to be in my house. I only hosted one party for Zoe when she turned maybe 12. I think I hosted a party in the house and she had maybe 4 girls. And it was perfectly fine. And occasionally, if Zoe wants to have a friend over, we allow that. Or, again, we know the family, we meet parents at the activities at school, so we kind of feel like we know whose kid we are hosting. But you can, that family might be very good, but who knows that the child had a bad dream and had to run away. And thanks for the dog alerted the mom, just kept barking and barking, and thanks God they had cameras, they could see the kid left the house. She ran after her. She couldn't find her because she just randomly ran at night. It was so scary. I would probably have a heart attack. This lady was a trooper. She immediately contacted the dad, and like the girl was home. She said he didn't pick up for a while. How scary it must be for her. I would be nuts. Imagine you hosting a sleepover and an maybe 9-year-old like randomly runs out of your house in the middle of the night. That's my worst nightmare. But when I told Stella that story, she said, "Mom, I would never do that. Don't worry about it. And I'll be in my friend's house. I'll be safe. Neighborhood is safe." And don't ask. Like, I'm an anxious person. I always have the worst scenarios in my head, but in this case, I'm trying to say, she's gonna have a lot of fun, nice people. The mom gonna send me lots of pictures. She assured me, don't worry, I'll send you lots of pictures. I'll let you know when they settle down. I'll let you know what they're doing. And, they have things to do, and nice group of girls again. So I hope she has fun. I think it's the memories they make now what's gonna matter for them. We have good memories from like camps if we went to camp, but my mom would never let me go to camp because my mom, I had long hair, and my mom was afraid of lice, and she wouldn't let me go to any overnight camps. Like, people used to go for a week or 2 weeks away. Like, when they were teenagers, they would go to overnight camps, and my mom would never let me do that. And she kept telling me that it's because she was afraid I'm gonna get lice. And I think the other reason was because I was a baby and she just didn't want to let me go. And she was just too anxious about my safety in the camps, and kids are weird. And sometimes back in the day, you couldn't trust adults because there was a culture of drinking, smoking, whatever. Kids started to smoke, probably now too, like they can start smoking at 12, 13. So my mom was a lot like overprotective, and she wouldn't allow me to spend the night at anybody's house until I was in high school. So it's interesting that from now what I remember, she was so like, I know why now she wouldn't let me, because she didn't want me in trouble or something. And she was right, because when I spent the night at my friend's house, my high school friend house, and if she watches this video, I say hi, I love you, I miss you. But I would say my mom was right. We did smoke. We did learn how to smoke in my friend's house when we had the sleepover. So it's perfectly fine to the girls do like weird things, and their parents don't know at 15, 16. You can't trust teenagers. That's it, period. Like, that's it. They're gonna break your heart. They're gonna do something they want to try without telling you, and you deal. Hopefully they're not going to get unsafe or in a big trouble. But that's how it was. I was a good kid. I was a very good kid. But the night I spent the night in my best friend's house, we learned how to smoke because we were curious, because we found some cigarettes and we wanted to try and learn how to smoke. We thought it was cool, and we were about 16. So was it good? It wasn't something to brag about, but that's how kids are. They're gonna do things that you're not gonna know about. And now I understand why my mom was so overprotective of me. She was just overprotective. She didn't want me to grow and know and get in trouble early. So that's what I wanted to share with you. How I feel. I'm sure I'm gonna feel fine. I'm gonna be okay. And tomorrow at 10, I'm gonna be the first mom to pick Stella up. And tomorrow in the afternoon, I'm gonna drop her over at the neighbor's house for her second sleepover. So I'm gonna already be, Erkan, welcome to my live stream. So tomorrow I'm gonna be already experienced about dropping my kid off and realizing and accepting that she's growing. She does what other, kids her age can do. And I should keep my trust in my kids. Open. Erkan, open. Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm Kate. I'm talking about my kid having the very first sleepover. She's almost 12, and I have a separation anxiety. I don't think my daughter has a separation anxiety because she's excited. She's going to her friend's house, having a party, having a good time, eating good things, sleeping, watching movies with her friends. So she's very excited, but I am not. I feel lonely. I feel like my kids are growing. They don't need me as much. I'm like, I feel a little empty because, like they feel my time. They feel my uh, every minute of my thoughts, and all of a sudden they're growing and I have to let them go. So I wanted to tell other parents, other moms, that they share mutual like feelings, and that it happens way earlier than we think. They're gonna go to college and they're gonna leave us alone. Guess what? They leave us alone pretty much when they're teens, because they think they're more independent. They think your parents are not cool enough to hang out with them all the time, and they want to keep things to themselves. They want to have fun. They can do a lot of like packing, whatever, laundry, a lot of things for themselves. And hopefully, I don't know, some people think it's a blessing when they're so independent. They're not going to live in your house until they're 40, and you're going to be blessed that your kids are independent and growing and self-sufficient. But for me, it's a little heartbreaking because that's it. I was there for them for the past 16 and 12 years, and all of a sudden they don't need me as much, and I'm like, what's my role now? am I left alone now? It's good. I can have some time for my hobby. I'm here with you, expressing my thoughts, doing my live stream, developing my channel, supporting other moms who might listen to my monologue and drop me a line and share their stories. But at the end of the day, I think the wisdom is to let them go, to be independent, to be happy that they're independent, let them spread their wings to be later independent adults, to go to school. So just because we think and we're going to be empty nested when they go to college, it happens way earlier, because they're teenagers. At 15 they're starting to drive here in the United States with the permit, with their driver's license, when they can drive with an adult for the first year. But at 16 they get their driver's license, and that's it. They think that it's freedom, but freedom comes with responsibility. We always tell them the privilege of driving can be taken. Any privilege they can have can be taken, because they still have to respect the rules of the house. They still have to respect us as parents and our kind of like guiding them, they have to respect, they live in the house, they have to respect the rules and our feelings and thoughts too. So it happens way earlier. I didn't realize, it happened like at 16, that's it. And at 12, that's it. She went for her sleepover. I have to be okay with that. And even grandpa, like my father, is very attached to her. Like in the morning he wakes up just to help her with the breakfast or something. So he wants to be there for her. He said, what am I gonna do when you're not there? And we're like, grandpa, you can sleep in, like take this time to sleep in. Just to take this time to take it easy, to relax. And he said, I'm too old. I can't sleep in the morning. I get up anyways. But at some point he said, are you sure you want to sleep in somebody's house by yourself the whole night? And she said, yeah, grandpa, don't worry, it's fun, it's my friend's party. So even my father shares the idea that it's kind of like, oh my gosh, the baby's not home. Thank you for listening to me. Erkan, are you from Turkey? Is this Turkish flag? Welcome. Welcome, Erkan. So thank you for being with me, listening to my monologue when I express my feelings. Maybe I'll come again tomorrow. Hello, Christian. Welcome, welcome. I'm ready to leave already. I already told you what I needed to tell you. Now I'm gonna go cook something lightly because my kids are not here to eat. Oh, maybe my younger daughter, maybe my older daughter, she's here. Maybe she wants to eat. I'm gonna cook something and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Who knows how the day goes? Maybe I'll have something to share with you tomorrow. So stay tuned. Please watch my videos with my travel into Sicily. I've been working hard filming the videos and then editing them and posting them on my YouTube channel. So please watch my videos. Please give me likes. Please comment, share your stories. I love you all, and please come support my channel. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for coming for this live stream. Bye bye. Love you all. Thank you. Kate B.